So today we're taking a look at the Trak Racer TR8 Pro, a rig built for passionate sim racers who want a pro setup that feels bomb-proof and looks fantastic. So a big thanks to Trak Racer for providing me with the TR8 Pro and the SA11 that you can see on the back here. They asked me for my honest opinion and review for this, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. If you're interested in checking out these products, I've linked an affiliate link below in the comments. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe for more sim racing content. So my first impressions when I got the TR8 Pro. Opening it all up, it feels like really high quality. Assembly took me about an hour and a half. Trak Racer's website only says 45 minutes, but I would recommend taking your time and really fine-tuning it all for yourself. What really stood out to me when I was building this rig is how many adjustments can be made, because there was the seat angle, height, recline. There was also the wheel angle and reach, the pedal plate height and tilt. And if you're adding the optional integrated monitor mount, that's just another thing you have to adjust as well. So the upside to all these adjustments is that you can really make this rig into your own. And the downside to this is once you make one of these adjustments, everything else is going to be out of whack. So you adjust one thing, you're going to have to adjust everything else again. And then when that's out of whack, you're going to, it's back and forth a lot. But I do get why there's so many adjustments, because you can really make it so it fits you just perfectly. So when you're building it, you notice that all the hardware comes pre-installed on the parts itself. So there's no guesswork in where all the hardware goes. You just take it out, and then once you put it all back together, you just put the hardware back in where it came from, and you're cooking. Trak Racer also provides extra hardware in case you lose it and a sticker, which is a nice touch. So to me personally, the TR8 Pro is one of the best looking sim rigs out there. It comes in black or gray, and while I understand that aluminum profile rigs are the gold standard for sim racing, they all just look kind of boxy to me. The TR8 Pro has curves. It has, presence, and that beefy tubular design that makes it look like it just can handle anything. The finishing is excellent. There's no sharp edges. The paint is really nice. It just really has that premium feel. The branding is tasteful too. There's a couple stickers here, and there's also Trak Racer painted on the side. The CNC logos are a nice touch as well. And one of my favorite design touches is the cable routing, which I wasn't expecting. Just like on a mountain bike, you can run the cables through the frame so they're not hanging on the outside. Same goes with this rig. There's entry and exit points all over the place with those rubber grommets around them, so you're not cutting up your cables while you're pulling them through. It just makes it look really neat and professional, and cable management can be taken to another level, something I really wasn't expecting at this price point. So this thing is a tank. It is made out of 2-inch industrial strength steel, and the sides has that dual reinforcement for the wheel. They also mentioned that the wheel plate itself can handle up to 30 Newton meters of torque, which is way more than I can ever put on. In my testing, there is absolutely zero flex on the wheel plate. On the pedal plate, however, I noticed a very, very small amount of flex, but only in the video. I actually don't notice it while I'm driving, so that's really all that matters. The included seat sliders are rock solid. They lock into place like a vault. Even the wheel plate rails itself that make the wheel go in and out, I was thinking that it might introduce some play or wobble into it, but once you lock them down, there's absolutely zero flex, so I was really surprised to actually notice that. So overall, stability is a major win for the TR8 Pro. So with all that steel comes weight. The Trak Racer fully built with wheel, pedals, shifter, monitor. The TR8 Pro is heavy. It's just not the kind of rig that you move in and out of the room. There's different rigs for that. The rig measures about 52 inches long, 42 inches high, and 24 to 30 inches wide depending on whether you're attaching the shifter mount. I did not use the shifter mount myself because I don't have a shifter, and also where I'm going to put this rig, there's just no room on the sides. So while the rig is not massive, you do need a dedicated space for this rig. And if you plan on moving this rig into a different room, I suggest building it in a bigger room, which is what I did. I just built the basic frame, and then two people, we moved it into a separate room and just added everything on afterwards. They do sell caster wheels for this rig, so if you do have to move it around, you can by putting these little wheels on, and it also raises the rig a little bit. So there's some pros and cons for that. Although I don't see a lot of people really moving this back and forth a lot. I think for most people, this rig will just stay where it is. So one of the biggest strengths of the TR8 Pro is the adjustability. Pretty much everything can be tweaked. So the wheels, pedals, seats, everything can be tweaked for your setup and preferences. Coming from a more basic rig myself, where there was not that many adjustments to be made, I was mind blown on how many adjustments there really were on this rig. So it is a little bit overwhelming at first when you see all these settings on how to build it. I put mine in the middle settings for all of it basically, and then once it was built, I just adjusted accordingly. But that's the flexibility that makes it special. Trak Racer even sells this as a flight simulator as well. That just shows you how much thought was put into this rig and how much flexibility there is to adjust accordingly. It just shows how versatile this rig is. So you can turn it from a GT car into an Airbus. An area where the TR8 really shines is accessories. So just out of the box, you get the rig itself and the shifter mount. But you really can add on a lot of things, including a wide range of seats, monitor mounts, motion platforms, sound and haptics, peripherals mounts, and caster wheels, floor mats, and a lot more. I have the single monitor mount with the 32-inch curved display, and I would say it is excellent. Very solid, easy to install, and it works really well with the TR8 Pro, obviously. There's just no more fussing around with stands and making everything fit. Everything bolts on and just works. The TR8 Pro is primarily designed for GT racing. Unlike the Trak Racer TRX, you can't instantly switch between F1 and GT style racing. That said, you can purchase a hybrid seat to put in this rig and also raise the pedal plate. So you can get close, but it is going to take a lot of time to change it over every time if you'd like to. For me, the TR8 Pro hits that sweet spot because I do like the GT style seating position. And of course, you can still use it for F1 racing. You're just not going to get that reclined position. The TR8 Pro comes in at $899 Canadian or $699 USD. Do keep in mind that the seat and the monitor mount that is on my rig are optional extras. My setup with the SA11 seat and the monitor mount came to about $1350 Canadian or about $979 USD with free shipping, of course. Trak Racer has multiple warehouses all over the world, so shipping was really quick and easy for me, even in Canada. You also get that 5-year limited warranty, so you know your investment is protected and is going to last you for years to come. So let's talk about the pros and the cons. So it's heavy, it's not portable. So if you're looking for a rig that you can move in and out of the room or just get out of the way, this might not be the one for you. It also doesn't include the seat by default, so it is an extra cost that is needed when you're purchasing this. If you already have a seat, it makes sense to just buy the rig itself and then mount your seat on it. But if you don't have a seat, it's just another cost on top of the rig. Which brings me to the next point, is that the price will climb because you will add some accessories to it. Like I did, I needed a monitor mount, which is extra costs to add to it, but because these accessories are made for this rig, it just works so well. So for the pros, it is rock solid. There's absolutely zero flex. It is a premium design and finish. The internal cable routing is a huge bonus. It is extremely adjustable to really make it your own. There's a ton of accessory options, as I explained in the cons, but it is a pro because the more the better. And great warranty and global support. So this is my review of the Trak Racer TR8 Pro. So in short, it is a beautiful, solid rig with pro level adjustability. It's heavy, it is also not the cheapest, and you will need a dedicated space for this. But if you're serious about sim racing, this is a rig that you can grow into and not outgrow. If you found this review helpful, drop a like. If you have any questions, you can drop me a comment or even explain to me what you have. And hit subscribe for more sim racing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.